She performed for elderly strangers and moved them to tears. She watched a master at work and understood what she was chasing. 4 episodes of fire and growth and quiet revelation. And now, the real world comes knocking. Not a rival, not a training exercise, something far more uncomfortable. A teacher with a clipboard and a very reasonable argument. Welcome to episode 5 of Akane-banashi, where dreams meet reality. Midterms are over. For one brief, beautiful moment, Akane Osaki breathes. No training, no performances, no Kyoji watching her every move, just the sweet relief of a student who survived exam season. But as anyone who has ever been 17 knows, the moment you think you can breathe is exactly when something new comes for you. And what comes for Akane today is a summons, a career counseling session, with a teacher the entire school has a nickname for, the Ice Queen, Iwashimizu, 3rd-year homeroom teacher. Calm, precise, relentless, the kind of educator who genuinely believes she is helping you while making you want to climb out of a window. She sits across from Akane with a folder full of university pamphlets and a smile that doesn't quite reach her eyes. The conversation starts simply enough. "What are your plans after graduation?" Akane answers honestly. "Rakugo, I want to become a professional storyteller." And that is where things get complicated, because Iwashimizu is not cruel. That's what makes her dangerous. She doesn't mock Akane's dream. She doesn't dismiss it. She simply asks questions. Practical ones. What is the average income of a Rakugo performer? How many performers actually reach Shinuchi? What happens to the ones who don't make it? How will you pay rent while you're training for a decade? Each question lands like a small stone. Not painful, just heavy. And Akane has no answers, because she has never thought about any of this. She has only ever thought about the stage. Enter Jumbo. Akane's cheerful giant of a classmate, the kind of person who walks into a scene and immediately makes everything slightly less terrible. He finds her outside the building after the session, looking like someone told her the sun was illegal, and in the way that only true friends can, he manages to make her laugh. Not because the problems are gone, but because sometimes you need someone to remind you that you're allowed to be human about it. That struggling doesn't mean failing. That doubt is not the same as defeat. But here's what episode 5 is really asking. The question underneath the career counseling, underneath the university pamphlets, underneath Iwashimizu's clipboard, can the dreamer's dream actually pay the rent? Rakugo is one of Japan's oldest art forms. It has survived centuries, but it has never been easy. The performers who make it to Shinuchi, the ones at the very top, they build something extraordinary. But the road there is long and uncertain and full of people who quietly gave up somewhere in the middle, like a certain salesman who used to wear a kimono. And that's the moment. That's where Akane finds her answer, not in statistics, not in pamphlets, in her father, in the image of Shinta Arakawa in a business suit at a concrete company, congratulated by people who never understood what was taken from him. She is not going to become that. She refuses to become that. Iwashimizu is right that the road is hard, but being right about the difficulty does not mean you get to tell someone their dream isn't worth attempting. Akane walks into Kyoji's next session with something she didn't have before. Not just fire. Clarity. 5 episodes in, and Akane-banashi just did something most anime never bother with. It asked whether dreams are practical, and then it answered the only way a shonen manga can, not by solving the problem, but by showing us why the problem is worth fighting through anyway. Episode 6 drops this Saturday. And from what I can tell, the training is about to shift into a completely different gear. Hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and if you haven't watched episodes 1 through 4 yet, they are all in the description below. I will see you in the next one.